Hello and welcome to the 10-Minute Intimacy Podcast with Ty and Kara Barlow.
We were going to deliver some three, I think, tips that can help with intimacy, and we thought we could just share those with you. And the first one we thought of was safety. And the second one, if you wouldn't mind speaking to that as well.
The second one is no shame, and the third one is
Cultivating a curiosity for your partner.
So we're going to go into each of those three, and they're three very powerful things that we love for really creating a deep bonding and deep intimacy with your partner on all levels.
And so let's go ahead and dive in with safety.
All right.
And maybe I could just ask a question to you: is what was it that maybe helped create some safety, for you?
For me, it right away, just him listening helped me feel safe. In the dating process, you date lots of people who sort of listen, but they're listening with the intent of, how can this person mold my life? Not really, considering both people's perspectives, and you have to create something new together, right? I'm not just gonna go live your life with you. We're creating our life, right? So Ty was very good at listening, and he was always a gentleman. His character and values were very clear right from the start, and that made me feel safe. He's a man who knew himself very well and stuck to his values and to his boundaries. And
Thank you.
yeah, I was able to very, very good communicate those boundaries and those values and the standard, and saying, this is really what I want. And if it's not you, it's okay. If you want something different, that's fine. But I'm not going to settle for anything less than that standard. And that, to me, was safety, right? Because it was also alignment with what I wanted, and it allowed me to step up to that level with him. So that was very cool. So how about you, babe? How about you? How do I make you feel safe?
So yes, there was a point in our relationship where, I wanted to know that it could last, not just for a month or 2 months or 6 months, but I wanted it to last a lifetime, and then on into, all of time, and like even in like an eternal perspective in a way, and so what helped me feel safe is when I would discuss that with Kara, she would hear that that's what I'm wanting, and then when I would say, hey, it's okay if it's not what you're wanting, because I'd understand. I mean, a lot of people don't have that same viewpoint of like eternal perspective, or even wanting to stay with a partner their whole life. I mean, you could have an early death. I mean, you could die at age 50 or something, and your partner needs to remarry or whatnot. And for me and our relationship, something that made me feel safe is she said it would be forever, and I appreciated that. And so I was able to, I think, let down a lot of my defensiveness and guard when it came to, trying to find a woman out there that would even be willing to do that. Not a lot of people this day and age want to go that full distance, it's a quick world nowadays, and it's like, what have you done for me lately type thing. And if it's not perfect, it's like, well, let's move on to the next thing. And so that's not me, and it never was me, never will be. And so I valued that she listened, she heard me, she wants to do the same, and that's how we even got to that level of safety.
Right.
So
And safety to me is all in, right? There's never an option of backing out. You hash it out, you figure out what your guys' standards are and boundaries are, and you honor them and you respect them and you hold to them. You grow together and learn together, and if as you evolve you might create new standards and new boundaries, right? And but there's no wondering, oh, there's never an option in your back pocket to get divorced if things get tough. There's never an option in your back pocket to go seek a different person outside of your relationship, right? That's an absolute no. If you even have that inkling of an idea, you should not get married, right? When you're entering in this divine sacred union, it's an all in, and you honor and respect each other's boundaries. That's safety. And you discuss them openly. And again, as you evolve, you can create new ones and expand those standards and boundaries, right? But that being all in creates safety.
so we'll go to our second one now and speak to that no shame, no judgment. I think early on I made some mistakes with Kara in doing so, having some judgments that were unfair, especially considering our backgrounds, where we came from, what relationships we came out of, the trauma that she was experiencing, and not only her relationship, with her ex-husband, but her relationships at work, and how I would say emotionally abusive they were. And so she was just in a state that was trauma. It was kind of like recovering from trauma, and I recognized that early on, but I also had my own insecurities that I needed to own. I needed to understand, and I was not owning those. I thought, I was getting defensive, I was kind of judgmental towards her with some of her relationships that she had, when I didn't know the whole story. I didn't, and once I did learn, there still may be some things I didn't fully like, but I also appreciated her honesty. And she got to a place where she was very real. Everything that had taken place to this point in our lives, and I was very real with her, with everything that's taken place in my life. And I think that what was great is no shaming happened at that point. We both honored each other and said, okay, no more judgment. We're
Keep
gonna
the past in the past.
right, and that's a huge thing. I'm gonna let her speak to that too.
Yeah, and more than just judgment, like when it really comes to physical intimacy in the bedroom, that's a very vulnerable place, right? And so we kind of committed right off to the start to, just out of love and respect, right? You don't ever shame your partner. There's no room for shame in intimacy. That's an intimacy killer, right? And so no matter where you're at in life, our bodies change, we get older, we put on weight, we lose weight, right?
Right.
Things happen, no matter what, when, or where. You don't allow any shaming. You never shame your partner, and keep the judgments. We all do things we regret and we wish we wouldn't have done. We all have things that happen in our life that make us or cause us to act certain ways that we wish we wouldn't have acted, right? And we just gotta recognize that we're both humans and we can help each other work through those and say, I did not like how you reacted to that. And I'll be like, neither did I, I'm sorry, right? But we don't shame each other, and especially in the bedroom. What was the third one, baby?
And the last one, we were gonna talk a little bit about cultivating a curiosity for your partner. So this is something I really love. I love to be curious about her. She's very intriguing when you get to know her on a deeper level, and that's what I love about Kara, and not just that, but she's very curious about me as well. And so it's made it so that we have deeper conversations, conversations that are meaningful, where I learn, like for example, with her book, she's writing a book right now, and it's going to be a fantastic book. I'm so excited about it because of how she's already got the first 2 chapters going. And I just asked her, well, I'm curious what the next step is. And she's like, yeah, I'm kind of working on it. I'm kind of thinking about that. And we're up here in nature, it's kind of fun to get ideas up here where it's nice and clear, but something I love is that her mind is already working on the next chapter. And I love that as an author, she starts thinking of all kinds of things. And then what's cool about her though is that she also asks me, well, what do you think? What do you think would be a good thing to put in this part of it? And so I'll just kind of speak to what I think, would be kind of a cool part to her book, and just kind of with ideas, but it's really cool because she's open, she's curious to my soul too, which is really nice.
It's a beautiful thing to always be curious with your partner, because we all learn and grow and experience things. So to check in with them and ask what they're thinking, what'd you learn this week, what cool thing happened, it's awesome to experience those things together, and it builds trust, it builds connection, it builds that intimacy. And we will wrap it up there. We hope you guys can come to our process group on Wednesdays, and it's a place for you guys to come either with your intimate partner or without, but preferably with them, and bring any issues you guys are currently struggling with, and we'll help you get through them and offer you tips, strategies, and all kinds of powerful, impactful little tips and things to help work through those and build more intimacy in your relationships.
And we look forward to seeing you there, as well as feel free to like and follow us, and so that we can continue doing these podcasts. And we'd love to hear from you and learn topics that maybe have been difficult for you, and let us know. We'd love to help, and thank you so much.
Thank you.